sometimes I can start walking around and I can do it, but then it just, I lose it again. As soon as I do anything, I lose it.
Do you have to read from your phone to say all these things?
Yeah, because I realized when I spoke to Rishikesh, I wasn't explaining things as well as I could. Yeah. And also I noticed, especially on ayahuasca, that this seeing it becomes very clear. It's as if like lots of dust has been removed from the mirror. But as I was saying, as soon as I go do something, or even if I just go to bed the next morning, it's like the dust is reaccumulated on the mirror again. So you asked me why it's like this. I was wondering, could it be that the thick layer of vasanas prevent it from being seen clearly, and that without removing them completely, that the weeds quickly spring up in front of my eyes again? So for now, I've opted with. Maybe I should go with that question first.
Which one is this?
I was wondering whether it's because there's a thick layer of vasanas that make it that cause this to be my experience.
I am appreciating that you take the time to go and to try and work through these different strains and streams of thinking and so on. But I feel that if I were to advise you within that thought stream, it would not help, because it would just strengthen a very complex way of looking. And I don't have much faith in that way. It is like feeding into a habit. And the habit is creating the problem. And so to join the habit only perpetuates the sense of the problem. It's much, much simpler than that. And it's all related to this strong sense of identity and doership. You see, strong sense of identity and the doership, you see. So some identity wants to take responsibility for its actions and misconceptions and how to put it right, but how to put it right as an identity, you see. And this is where the fault would be, because if an identity seems to put something right, it won't stay right, or even if it stays right, the identity will feel differently about it. So we are walking on safe ground. You're putting down your picnic blanket on quicksand there. It's not going to work. So
I can add that for now I've opted for just staying empty when I've opted for putting the attention directly on myself, because that's what feels like the best way of seeing with clarity, and I do that when I'm sitting still. And then for other activities, I generally remain empty, because it's too hard to stay with the first mode of seeing when I'm moving around.
Nobody can do awareness or achieve it. No one can achieve it. Because it is not apart from you, first of all. You can only come to a recognition that removes the wrong idea. And the wrong idea is giving you a lot of work. The mind will always be, as I say, sending you on a journey, giving you a task, supporting this illusion that you are separate from the real self or something. And but without belief, it cannot do that. And so belief also is another function that the consciousness operates with. It creates the sense of believing and identification. But all of them are in service to the sense of separate, autonomous identity, you see, if you follow. And If I were to say to you, whatever is appearing, like I started yesterday or this morning, I can't remember now, to say, this morning, I think, close your eyes now. So there's the awareness of eyes are closed, and still there's a perceiving of maybe a sense of darkness and space. But within that, if anything appears now, you close your eyes, you close the screen to the outside, the sense of the outside world. There's an awareness here now. And if anything appears inside the space, it is perceived immediately. It arises, it seems to be present for a while, and then it moves on and is replaced perhaps by another sensation, another thought or something. If you don't touch them, just observe. Now this thing has come. Now it appears to be coming towards something. Does it touch this something? A thought arises, and it seems to be moving closer and closer and closer. Does it touch the thing it's coming close to? Is there anything there? Whatever you perceive, you don't touch, don't combine yourself with it. Only you're perceiving. Whether something is beautiful or felt to be beautiful or ugly, or whether it is very violently appearing, shaking, or smooth, it is all still just clouds passing. Just passing. If you don't identify with them, still you are perceiving them, but they don't feel to be so impactful for you. After a while, a little bit, short, just few seconds, maybe a minute, after you become used to it, that you don't have to touch, it becomes easy not to touch whatever is coming. Now you're in the habit of not touching or feeling that something wants to touch. So everything is appearing. There is a vibration, a sense of being behind the seeing that causes the seeing to be happening. This functioning of perceiving is taking place in front of something. Is this something tangible? Can it be touched? Does it have a shape or size or weight? Is it male or female? Does it have any religion or any structure of such? That which is observed, that which is seeing the seen and the seeing, can it be seen? That within which the bodily sense is also perceived and cannot be perceived without it. Yourself. Bring this into light. What is yourself? If you have a self that can be photographed, it also is an image arising in this vastness. If you have any data, memory and so on, that is also arising and is perceived in the vastness. And it too becomes like a cloud that passes. Other sensations are succeeding, they come and they go. I have told you, let's not get involved with any of them. The most important is that power which causes seeing or perceiving to function. It is right here. Can yourself be other than it? So for that principle, does it have a date of birth? You see? Does it have beginning? So right there is the the sense of the location of your own self. But where does it end? Does it have an edge or a boundary? You see it like this. When you are looking and following this line of guidance, you see, can your mind trouble you?
No.
Do you even have a mind?
There is a lot of doership, like you say, and you've noticed in how I...
Yes, yes. The sense, it's all a sense of. Apparently. A great seeming. But nobody can prove it, because if I say, okay, show it to me, then you cannot show it. It comes, it goes. It's a sensation. But something is attributing tremendous importance to these sensations. That look, it's so strong and it makes me feel. And who is the me who they are attacking? Who is this me? Let's zoom in. Let's zoom in and look. We're going in. The attack is happening to who?
When I ask these questions, so like when I inquire about who is the doer and who's being identified of the doer, it feels like I'm fanning the flames, because the question itself stings of identity, of doership also. So it's like...
So let's slow down. When you ask the question, what is the question?
Who's trying to get it?
Yes, okay. How do you ask the question? Is it kind of more mechanically, who is the doer? Who is the doer? You see? Are you asking something else? Who is the doer? Who are you talking to?
It's like I throw out the question and I kind of just...
Okay, so the question is raised, where is the doer? Where is the one who is suffering? And stop. And zoom in. Or be very quiet, be very alert.
What do you mean by zoom in?
Meaning that don't go out to other things. Stay put in with the question. Hold the question, you see? Let the question be there. Because actually, when you begin to really ask this question, and you are really, really earnestly seeking the answer or the response to it, okay? Then you may find that initially, some force is trying to take you away from this question. It's substituting this question for a lesser question. Or suddenly you start to think of other things like, how many ingredients is in muesli and all this type of stuff. You start to go, and you can't hold your focus and stuff like this, you see. So then you see that there's a force that seems to not want to go there. It doesn't want to look at this. Do you give up then?
But
No.
when those thoughts go away, then I don't know, like, do I try to bring them back? I don't know where to look when they're gone.
No. When they're gone, it means that they can't stay. They can't bear this question. They only can live in the shadow of your blind spot. You're not looking. But because the question is look, and there is now the intention, the earnestness to really find out actually who is it happening to? And give time, give space to this. Don't rush to a next question. Give space, really try to stay with it. At first, something is not moving. You don't then go, oh, okay, you're not moving, okay, next question. No, same question. Who is there? Because there appears to be suffering, there appears to be confusion, and something is feeling, oh, I'm so blocked, and we have accepted this voice and this condition, and now you're asking, I feel so blocked, how can I get out of this, or whatever. And who is blocked, really?
But
whose voice is speaking? Who is saying this thing? Don't just assume that this question is so authentic. It's because of habit of really just accepting this voice that it came to seem like it's important. Maybe in another expression of consciousness, these words mean nothing at all. It is seen clearly that they are nothing, but in the way consciousness is manifesting in this form, the way that it has played and expressed a life in this form, it has certain tendencies, and one of those tendencies is to too quickly believe in the thoughts. And strong feeling of identification with the person. So even when we say, yeah, when I focus on the I amness, or when I focus on the isness, you're speaking from the person. When I, the seeker, is looking at that, you see, I have said before, the one who earnestly begins the inquiry will not finish the inquiry, but will be finished by the inquiry. What it means? While you're inquiring, the inquirer gets absorbed into his own finding. This is what happens. They said one time that there was a doll made from salt. She was made out of salt, and she had a raincoat and a little hat and everything like that. And the doll wanted to go, and she had a dream that, I am the same quality as the ocean. And I want to go and to see if I can measure the ocean, the quality of the ocean. So she started to go, and she's going to come back to her friends and tell them what she found. But as she started to walk out in the ocean, you see, because she's made of salt, and she's made of salt, as she's walking out, and the ocean is salt water, then the legs begin to disappear as they touch the water. Still going up, and then the knees go. Everything from the knees is gone. Still going out, and then gone. And then the waist, gone. Everything gone. Finally, only the hat is floating. The hat is also made out of salt, and it's also gone. So who is going to come back and talk about the ocean? A little bit like this. You are the self, but you have the sense that you are something searching for the self. And the search is genuine as you're discovering, you see, because the seeker is not apart from the self. In the very seeking, because it goes into the ocean from where he's come, he can't come back out. Whatever emerges from this is not the same old guy. And intelligence emerges from here. Understanding comes from here, you see. So if you are inquiring, but who, where is this? And then you keep having a bag of answers. Your answers should have killed you. You see, your answers should have killed you. One man I know in Rishikesh, I was talking with him, and he was a very proud guy. Yes, I've been traveling for a long time. I've been around with many spiritual people and saints. I had the 7 gurus actually. I've sat with 7 gurus. I asked him, how did you survive 7 gurus? I don't know. How did you survive? You should not have survived. This is a bad story. You think it's a proud story. It's a bad how you survive 7 gurus. Why, you super ego or what? If you meet, you must be finished, you see? Meaning what? Your delusions should be finished. Your ignorance should be cut.
And I find when I remain in the sense of me, that over time.
Who's speaking? No, please tell me. Identify who exactly is speaking these words.
Someone who's trying to do it.
Which is what you are?
No.
So speak from what you are. Before words and concepts were formed, you are. It's not concepts that know you, it's you who know them. I'm looking at my hand. My hand is not looking at me. You saw the one, you see the one. I ask, who Who is speaking? You say, the one who's searching for something. What perceives that? Is that searching for something?
No. But yet, if I don't...
Why but?
Because,
But takes you back to the one who is seeking.
because if I don't resolve this question, then I'm going to run around with like a lot of confusion.
Who?
Again.
No, please, you must solve this today while you're standing here. Who is it? What problem of life can a ghost solve? Something is being very persistent. It's like, no, it's not, I'm not satisfied. Same thing. Who is it? Who is speaking? This. You must bear that itch. Something's itching. I want this. I want one. Why is that not a voice that's been given too much space, too much attention? Speaking. Who is speaking? Who is speaking? Go and touch the lips of the one who is speaking. Who is it? If I don't do it, then I'm going to end up. Who is it speaking? Over who does it have influence? An idea you have about yourself is suffering from its own projections. It is believing that, yes, but if I don't do this, then what's going to happen? I'm going to keep running about and so on and so on and so. And everywhere else he's gone, he gets away with this talk. But not today. Everywhere he's gone, he gets away with this thing. Yes, I did this thing. I was selling Vipassana for years. I come here, I went to Himalaya, I was in a cave, living naked with tigers. And now I come here, I'm working in Montessori, digging every day. Who is it? Yes, I have got the source to show for it. Introduce him, because he's a big part of your life. So introduce this one tangibly, because he has a lot to say. He's the one speaking, and everybody going around. Yes, my back is hurting. And next month I'm going on this retreat. Yes, it's going on. Oh, I've been silent for 30 years. Oops. It's the same guy. It doesn't matter he speaks in female body or male body, child body or whole person body, doesn't matter. It's the same guy, universal guy. He's going around talking. And nobody catches him. Everybody thinks it is them. Has anybody caught him yet? Has anybody caught him? He's achieved many things in life. So many things. He's so opinionated about many things. Long history. So today, will the speaker stand in the witness box, please? Come, show yourself then. Who are you? And don't everybody say, yeah, what is he going to say? What's he going to say? I'm talking to you, Ato. It's the same guy in all the bodies going, yeah. How is he going to cope with Muji's questions? No one has questioned it. So on and on it goes, on and on it goes. Supported by belief, habit, and lack of introspective examination, lack of inquiring, big assumption, and because it feels so true, like unchallengeable. Nobody perceives it as a disguise. Is it your true voice? Ultimately, if that is all there is of you, is it true? This voice? No, it is not true. He will create heavens and hells. You will dream them and live in this dream, as he's doing now.
He also makes the inquiry. He also makes the inquiry.
Well, he appears to make the inquiry. He appears to make the inquiry. Is he genuine? Because if he genuinely is making the inquiry, yes, you can say the mind maybe that gradually is becoming more refined, from being immersed in more tamasic and rajasic energies, maybe becomes more sattvic energy, more pure energy. And when it becomes more pure, it has a natural attraction for truth. Maybe this mind is the mind that will inquire into its nature.
Thought not yet tamed. Not yet tamed. Thought.
Thought is not yet tamed,
Thought.
not yet caught.
Thought, but not yet tamed.
Caught but not yet, not tamed.
I think he's doing like I used to do mentally. Just trying to find it. Just
Yes.
want to just see it, want to feel it.
Yeah.
Oh, this can't be.
Yes. Maybe it is like this, that you're expecting to have an objective realization.
Makes you frustrated, makes you cry.
You see? Yes.
Makes you go
He's saying here, no? Like this. This type of looking makes it more, intensifies the frustration, intensifies the agitation. Why can't I get it? You see? It was what was happening also with Prabhu when he came. Young man from Philadelphia? New Jersey come. He just left. And when he came like this, everybody was sometimes laughing and enjoying, and he was, Guruji. Guruji, what am I doing wrong, Guruji? He was on it. I can't leave here without it, Guruji. I've got to get it, Guruji. Everyone else now it's time for dinner. He said, Guruji, please help me. So where do I go with it? Non-stop. I never saw anyone so intensely on it. He was like rodeo rider. He was on the back of the horse. The horse is trying. Guruji, Guruji. Trying to tame that horse, you see? And I said, don't worry. Relax a little bit. You know. Something that maybe it has to try like that also. It has to try first and frustrate itself a little bit with trying. Also, say Bankai, also one Zen master. He was determined. I'm determined to wake up. He found one rock. He used to go and sit on the rock. I'm not going to move until I wake up. You see? And then every day he's sitting. And what he received after all this time was a very sore ass. And he almost died from just, couldn't keep it up. Because we think not just determination alone. In the end, he had to leave it. He said, no, it cannot be this way. It cannot be by force. Not something outside. But maybe by that trying is also the self expressing through that for a while. And so much intensity, maybe something just happened and his mind relaxed and then the seeing happened, you see. It's not a method I recommend. But if it's an inclination you have very strong, then it has to be played out. You see? Because maybe through that very avenue, the self gets revealed. It's another shape it can take, another form it can take. You see? But while you're here, I just point you to ask, who is this thing? Maybe you catch him. And you do, but maybe just for a second. But then like reflex, you're back again to this. Yes, anyway. My next question. You see, like this.
Can I inquire into who is trying to do it while paying attention to the I am?
You cannot do both equally, you see. If you understand that it happens also very naturally, it's not that you're doing two things at once, but just like, the example is like a woman is carrying, a pot of water on her head, she's carrying, but she can still talk with people on the way, and she can bend down to fix her slippers, but she never have to look up to see if she has to pay attention to, is her balance right? Something is just knows that, so you don't have to pay attention to the I am, and then at the same time do the inquiry. Otherwise, it's like picking up too much at once. Just relax.
So stay empty and do the inquiry.
No, stay empty. And stay empty.
But then what about the inquiry?
First, stay empty. Yeah, that's another way, see? You don't touch any thought. Don't pick up any instruction. You see? So that your mind, your attitude is in a state of neutrality. So anything comes, you can see it, but don't go in with anything. If something is inviting you, come, I show you the way to enlightenment. You don't touch anything. You say no. Teachers say, keep quiet. Yes, but I know the way. And then your mind says, that's 20 minutes now. You didn't find anything. You have to trust also. Stay there. There must have been a purpose why your teacher tell you, keep quiet, stay here.
Is that also staying with the I am?
Is that also staying?
Does that also equate to staying with the I am?
It means keep quiet. Just keep quiet. Don't touch don't touch I am. Even that you don't touch.
But then why in your guidance do you say notice the isness and then put your attention on yourself?
No. I said just be the isness. At another time, maybe I might say something else when you're ready. I don't give you one lump. Everything, do this. I said, no, just this.
Yeah.
And when something that is taken root inside, then I will see if something more needs to be said to you. Just you keep quiet. Mind is going to start to attack this simple advice. It's going to say, but if you keep quiet, nothing gets done. Now we want to see if that is believed or not. And then you say, but yes, but my teacher said, just keep quiet.
Okay.
You see, don't let your mind argue with you. The mind says, yeah, we said keep quiet. But it didn't say why you should keep quiet.
But I went with staying empty for like the last 3 or 4 weeks before the retreat, and I just felt like crap. And then, but then when I just pay attention to the I amness,
You are not empty. You are not being empty. Yeah. We are waiting for something to happen. That is not empty. And then because you're waiting for something to happen, then you felt like crap, and then you gave up. You say.
But why is it that when I pay attention to myself, that I feel better and lighter, and there's more warm blocking going on, and I can feel the vibration of satsang better?
Yourself meaning what?
The vibration that feels like me. The isness.
The isness. Does it have a surname as well too? I mean. How many different instructions you're following?
Okay, if I want to put it really clearly, to me it feels like there's like two things going. It's either staying empty and being quiet, and you're just turning your attention away from whatever comes, and there's also
Even not turning your attention away from whatever comes, just staying empty.
just staying empty.
Yes. Don't touch anything at all.
And then
No, there's no and then. There's no and then. And then means I'm not quiet anymore.
but what about paying attention to my own self?
It's just say keep quiet.
It's the same. But it feels like two different ways of looking to me. And last year's But why is it then in your guidance last year? Why is it then in your guidance last year that there was guidance
What last
one?
year? What last year?
Last year's retreat.
Where now? In this moment I'm speaking to you. Maybe last year at a certain point we speak, there was another thing manifesting there or something. That was advice there. Now I'm telling you, you can't. Don't touch anything at all. Then your mind is speaking and say, yeah, but if I don't, then after I don't touch anything, what's going to happen? That's not quiet. Keep quiet. Shut up. He said, but okay, so if I shut up, then, how long have you shut up for? I said, so you have not followed.
So just to be clear, does that mean just forget the forget putting the attention on my own self, even though that seems to be working better?
Okay, put the attention on yourself and don't do anything else. If that works for you, I put the attention on myself and that seems to be working. How long it takes to put attention on yourself? What is yourself? You say it's the isness. So you stay with your attention in the place of the isness until gradually the effort to stay there disappear.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. You can.
Namaste, Guruji. Thank
Yeah.
you. I had to put my hand up to see if I'm able to inquire into this guy or that only inquires into its projections and not. Am I able?
Of course you're able, but I've tried to put it in the simplest terms for you. Can you experience your thoughts and sensations without hanging on to them or following them?
Yes.
That is all you need to do. Don't identify with them, you see. But some will feel much more attractive. There'll be more magnetism towards certain kind of thoughts, the ones that somehow have made earlier impressions in your mind or consciousness. They will come and have a stronger force. They're not the regular guys. The regular guys, maybe you can just, no.
Yeah, they're pretty nasty.
Yeah, so the ones, some may come and they somehow with these kind of thoughts, connecting with them, brings you more into a state of personhood. Because you cannot suffer from your, universal self. You cannot suffer from your impersonal being. It is always going to be something personal.
In the isness,
Okay, what is this? Isness is at the root, it's the final one, it's the ultimate.
so when I do the invitation, I'm just experiencing being.
Okay, you're experiencing being. Are you experiencing being as being different from you?
No.
Okay, good so far. Next.
I guess the mind wanted to have some.
The mind is not satisfied with that. Or what? Do you need to please your mind?
No. I just wondered if.
It's sometimes not so clear, of course, because it's intertwined. Mind is also the self. You know? And mind is not bad. When I speak about mind, I'm speaking about that mind which is manifesting as the I am the person idea. The individual or egoic self. That creates much mischief because it is not it is not the truth of you see. It is the fiction of you. And we can play, just like children, want to play a little bit, doctors and nurses or soldiers or something. We like to play, something wants to play. And being a person is also a play that we enjoy, much of it.
I just can't understand because I can't stand being a person
Anymore.
anymore.
Yes.
Like when I do the invitation, the bit where you go, it's not, it's not so bad. No, I can't even read that bit.
Which part? Who's got this thing?
It kind of works.
Yeah? Read it to me. Yes. I know this bit, but I want you to read it out for everybody. Somebody have one for me? Let me read it.
Okay. Do you want to read it?
I read it with you.
Okay. my life. Just that.
Yeah, before that you must start. So we don't just have the text, but you have the context also. One moment. Okay.
Let's begin, or from Let's Begin, or
Where is it here? And
it's right at the beginning
Okay.
when I'm speaking to you, when I'm
Yeah.
asking you. You've asked, I want to awaken. to
Okay,
the truth.
yes. So let's begin. And I say that you ask, you say, I want to awaken to the truth as it really is. Please help me. I want to know and be who or what I truly am, not my ego and conditioning. I want to meet God. I want to realize the truth. My life lived in the notion of a person is not working. It kind of works. It kind of works. For some people, it kind of works, but it's not the joy that I've heard you speak of. But in your case, you say, no, it doesn't work. You are lucky. You are lucky because the ego then is running out of breathing space because you will not tolerate it. Something has to change. So usually it goes on because you still want something from there. You still want something from there. And then it is like you're not going to get away with it free. It is like there's a song in Bob Marley's song, he says, never let a politician do you a favor. Okay, it's just a song, okay? Okay? So, because when it comes payback time, it's going to be big. Okay? So, you don't want to be getting any favors from your ego, from that realm. Because it is not free. It is not free. It may appear to be free in the beginning, but you don't read the small print. It's not free. You have found out now that you can't even say, I want my life lived in the notion of a person is not working. It kind of works, but it's not the joy that I've heard you speak of. It's not the unchanging perfection that I hear you speak about. I want to be in that unchanging state permanently, in a sense. But you are saying, no, it doesn't kind of work. It doesn't work. My ego is not working. Okay? So you are on the verge of either a great discovery or mental breakdown. And you're not going to have a mental breakdown. You are not. So I won't let you.
Okay.
Something has come to a point where it is like that. There is no, it's been a countdown for the ego. One time maybe you could carry him for 2 hours, or some people 2 days, some people 2 months. You're carry him, and then after you have to drop it because it's unbearable. Then as you proceed with your spiritual training and whatever your sadhana, and then what happens is maybe from 2 weeks, now only for 1 day you can carry him. Then after 1 day, maybe just for 1 hour you can bear him. Then after 1 hour, 5 minutes alone, after 5 minutes, I have to put him down. Then 1 minute, you come with your, 1 minute. Then 10 seconds, drop him. 2 seconds, as he comes. 1 second. Then after that, what more? After 1 second, what? You see, something cannot bear to touch him anymore. This is another form that the progress of awakening, the process plays in this way. The beingness is not supporting that identity anymore. Time up, you see. So you're looking, so what happened? Where we go from here now? What to do?
There was a time when inquiry just came from somewhere. When I was looking back through this satsangs that recently, I realized that was definitely still the ego looking. Like,
Yeah.
it was forcefully.
The one who is looking is perceivable or not? The very urge within you, I'm looking for something. So there's awareness of looking for something, isn't it? Pay attention to the awareness first. Is the awareness missing anything that is looking for something? So whoever, apart from the awareness looking for something, awareness is not concerned about that. If you have evaluated that you must be at the place of the awareness, has anybody come to that conclusively? You see, that, I can only be the awareness, even though sometimes I feel like I'm a person and like this, but I know even this person is playing out a movement in the awareness.
Yes.
You know this, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, in fact, gradually, it becomes more and more refined, more subtle, until it doesn't, this duality perishes, it's finished. It's exhausted in that role. Thereafter, it isn't that the world vanishes completely like this in its elemental expression, but the meaning you've been giving it in relation to the person you take yourself to be, that comes to an end. Thereafter what? In a sense, everything, every form becomes a form of God. Isn't it? Because that is the source of it. That is the nature of it. You see, when you look, although you say this is a flower, but your inner knowing knows what this flower is. In the world, as we expressed in the expression of duality and language, something knows to speak in that language, but it also intuitively knows when it is in the presence of a higher state of consciousness, and it doesn't have to be assertive, but this is only a flower. You see, because also energetically it knows it's in the presence where it can speak the truth, or not even have to speak it even. And this layer of intuitive perception, it becomes very alive in you. You automatically know. You don't need any hints from people necessarily. Something just, or they become you, or you pick up hints that ordinarily people don't see, and you come to find your way in each situation. More and more it becomes, there's no time delay. There's a spontaneity. If there's a time delay, it's not a delay. It's just a sort of timing. You see, everything, I don't speak so much about, because I don't think I can teach this type of thing. I only show you the place where you truly are, and as you can begin to confirm that through your own experience, the rest is automatically going to play out in its unique way, as it will be for each individualized aspect of consciousness. Will have its own river, but all of them go into the same ocean. Does it connect?
Yes.
So we came to the point where even that which we were saying, I can't bear it, I can bear it, and said even the inquiry, they say even that now when it functions, it is arising as a phenomenon being watched. By the very place that the inquiry intends to show you is where you already are looking at the inquiry happening. For those of you who are ready to see that. And just trust, relax. It is not a product of sweaty effort. More be soft and receptive, more open. And feel your way. It's and enjoy it also.
Thank you.
Enjoy it. This journey you can enjoy, not just the destination. You'll enjoy the journey because, God gave you the ticket. So you enjoy the journey.
I'm very grateful that I'm not an autonomous being.
You say you're very grateful that you're not an autonomous being?
Like that, it's not me doing
Yes.
this.
Yes, very good. Did you hear what she said? No? Yeah. I'm very grateful that I'm not truly an autonomous being, that I am deciding my own way, doing my own thing, and this kind of pride and arrogance will slow down the possibility of real seeing taking place. I know best. I don't need any help. This type of thing, you see. It's another way in which the ego will play if it gets the chance. But if you hold to the sense of the I am, you won't get the chance. When he arises, you will be seen.
Thank you for
Yeah,
everything.
very good.
For
Yeah.
saving. Just
Yes.
thank you.
Yes. Yes. It will try in this play, put it in this way, it will seem like this force is trying to sabotage your seeing. But because you have excellent power, there's no reason for you to sink. No reason. Only if you touch your person, it will feel heavy, you'll feel overwhelmed. But you don't touch the person. The person is also an image in the consciousness. Be the consciousness like that. It will be over. This battle, each one must win. Thereafter, he will still come again. But, you've caught him. You've caught him. You've understood the mechanism of the manifestation of duality and the sense of the victim and the oppressor, the cheater and the cheated. You come to see more because you have come back to the pure state of consciousness. You're not merely a person with a history who have done things and have all this karmic weight on your shoulders. If you have transcended back into the state of pure consciousness. If you have still carrying a conditioned consciousness, if you're still, because another way of putting it is that the pure consciousness is come to save the conditioned consciousness. Conditioned consciousness is believing I am this and that and I try, I don't do this, speaking like that. So the pure consciousness is somehow shaking the conditioned consciousness. Why you go there like this? You see, you are becoming just mind. You're not just a mind. You fall asleep. Come, wake up. You see. How long must it go on for? We don't know. In each case may be different. Maybe someone is, whoa, like every word is gold for them. Another one is still confused. I don't get it. I'm trying. I said, but the one trying also, are you not aware? Can't you not see? It is a fake. It's not true. But you have identified so strongly that it feels like it is true for you. Still, may the fullness of grace bind those powers so that the clear seeing may arise unimpeded in you. How long has this thing been going on? We don't know. How long is this mistake? How long has this not been recognized? You see, maybe in this life, maybe this life of yours, maybe you're born for freedom, this life. Maybe you've come to see, this one I must solve him. Yeah. He's a little shapeshifter, some goes blurred and come out something, but I am where I am. And even that somehow it goes in and out of focus is not my focus now. My focus is that without me, he has no existence. I can live without that, but that cannot live without me. Judge which is the greater and stay put there. It must not be clear only mentally. As you listen and you can somehow follow where the words are, what they're showing, opening the curtains, you see. Letting the light in. This light doesn't come from outside, this light comes from inside and shines into the mind. Sometimes you'll feel maybe one time you woke up and it just feels like everything you've got just, your head is full of tissues. But you will not panic. I say, how are you this morning? Just fine. But you said your head's full of tissues. It's just a sensation, it's nothing at all.
I feel like I've been in states like that.
Hmm?
I feel like I've been in states like that, higher consciousness than now, but I can't think about it as the past.
Yes. When you know it as a sensation only, and don't give it any greater meaning than that, your sense of being higher or lower will also vanish. When you experience something and you feel victimized by it, then you feel, oh, I've dropped in consciousness. If you don't identify, it's only a sensation. You are determining your state.
Oh, yes. Then, if I'm determining my state, then, and I know this is still, but I just want to love.
You want to?
Just be love. Just love.
You are already that. That's why you can see everything.
We can.
Because they are secondary to you. You are that light and the source of that light. The light is what gives form, reveals the form of all things. And you're also the weakness of this light. Are my words too abstract for you? Because they must become now, they are going to be in your breath, in your blood. You're here for nothing less than total clarity and the recognition of your true position. You know, that is all. Anything else about going on these different levels and going to, Brahma Loka and on all the different things and consciousness and the super consciousness and the super... Don't worry about this. You have found that which cannot be lost. You're seeing that which cannot be seen. Stay with it, you see. All kind of voices will come to try and tell you, it's not it, you have not done it. And it's only your believing in those voices that's going to cause the doubt in you, that's going to make you feel that you're falling. It's just like that.
Thank you for this invitation.
Thank you, my love, thank you. Let me read something a little bit, because all these, but I'm not going to read all of them. I have to read a few, maybe, and see what we can do. Some yellow ones. I think the yellow ones are, I don't know if somebody says, you print them yellow so they stand out more. So, dear Mooji, for a few years I follow your pointings, my beloved master, and I feel blessed to know you and to know the truth. I love you. I cannot attend the retreat at Montesaja this year because my son, age 21, is in a deep depression and suicidal. He is deeply identified with his mind, who is sabotaging every aspect of his life. He thinks all the talks you give about the self are bullshit. In brackets, sorry for the word. How can I help? Can you say something to him? A desperate mother from Holland. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Ingrid. Again, for a few years I follow your pointings, my beloved master, and I feel blessed to know you and to know the truth. I love you, see. And I cannot attend the retreat at Montesaja this year because my son, age 21, is in a deep depression and suicidal, you see. Yeah. And he is deeply identified with his mind, which is sabotaging every aspect of his life. At a certain point, this is what happens. It starts to, like, you see, it's like you don't even know easily. You're not so conscious of where you are anymore because you've lost your sense of balance. You're just in this world and you can't help thinking how you're thinking for the moment, you see. So he thinks all the talks you give about the self are bullshit. Sorry for the word. Of course, you see, because the mind, as I said, the carnal mind, the disturbed or distorted perception of the egoic mind is in rebelliousness against that which is true. You see, it can't help. Why is this? Some dark force has tightened up its grip. The person, so to speak, that was in there, has become very weak. If you give too much energy, something starts as a little doubt or a little resentment, and it's not checked, and it just begins to grow. And as it grows, it starts to search for food, which is more reason to keep feeling more resentful at a certain point. And then it's almost like it's too late. You can't, there's no energy to go against that anymore. It becomes more strong. What to do then? So of course, it will start to feel like this thing, like all you're talking about is rubbish and stuff like this. But he doesn't see, or this person will not see and admit, but I need help. At a certain stage, not thinking, I need help. I don't need help. You're going to need help. You'll need help. You're the one need help. So the arrogance begin to come. Pride, arrogance begin to come. You see? And it becomes ugly. What to do? Then you ask, how can I help? You see? Can you say something to him? I can't say anything to him if he's not receptive. What I can do is I can pray for him, bless his being, because I know that in his right mind he would not be thinking like this. He would not be behaving like that. Something has gotten inside, some force. Maybe a time will come I can talk to you about these things. But yeah. We see things like person. This person is like that person like that, because you take yourself to be person, you see. But in the play of consciousness, I see it more, even in the play, as more like the forces of like light and darkness moving and using the forms and somehow. We are this consciousness, and no, I won't talk about it now. I don't know for what reason. I can't speak to everybody like this. But what I will do, I send this now, blessing to him. Don't tell him that though. Don't tell him that. because his true being cannot hear it. Sometimes you get so disturbed, you're not functioning from your true being. It's almost as though a door gets almost closed. It's not, in reality, not at all. There's no such thing, it doesn't exist. But in the realm of the manifest consciousness, in the play of duality, in the play of individualized being, autonomous identity, you will experience so much things. Maybe we are meant to experience all these things, the bitter and the sweet, and somehow to exercise and to develop the ability, the muscle, the discernment, to use the higher powers, tools, to transcend the influence of the dark forces. I know it is still just play. And this is why I'm not interested in blaming or criticizing anybody as a person, because there's no person for me. There is no person for me. There's just a self. And some are manifesting in this form, in this sense of person and so on. And so I'm also playing like this. And so sometimes I might say, what are you doing? No, go away. But I can't believe it. And so therefore, nothing can stay inside my heart for long. You see, everything must happen now. So if I'm angry with you about something, I need to see you, I can't wait until tomorrow. I have to go to college, sort that now, because tomorrow I'm going to forget. You see, so, go get him now. And then after they come, and what happens also? Sometimes people, the behavior in the world of this play is not good. And I feel, let them come right now, I want to talk to them. And when they come, as I see them, oh, hi darling, how are you doing? Because I can't keep it. Those who are closer to me, they'll tell you like this. I can't hold it because I see it's just not real. How can that be real? But maybe it's real for you. You see? For the moment. Dear Smoochie, recently I came out to the bush and was able to visit Monte Sahaja regularly. Sahaja broke my heart. Sahaja broke my heart open. Then I flew back to another continent, although it is no longer home. In the city, Muji and Sahaja was breaking my heart open. Now I am up in the mountains, away from the city. Muji and Sahaja and Sangha is breaking my heart open. I looked in the mirror and saw nobody. You saved me. I am falling into myself. Thank you. Della from USA. Good. This is good. Good report. You give me a little time, okay? Just to... Dear Muji Baba, during my last meditation, I had the realization that thoughts are just smoke, and as you have mentioned, writings on water. I saw it so clearly that I could sense that there wasn't a thinker behind. If there isn't a thinker, then where do thoughts come from? I can sense that they are some kind of energy, aren't they? The more time I spend with them, the thicker they become. Is it not true? I could come to the realization that in this way they become actions, and then they can manifest and so become reality. But where do they come from? Thank you for your patience and kindness and blessings and love. you are and spread on us. This retreat has changed my life. I can't really express my gratitude and feelings I have for you. Always yours, Milena Zabo, Hampton, UK. Yes, where did thoughts come from? It's like sometimes you're lying on your back on a sunny day. The sky is empty in blue. And just like that, out of nowhere, a little thing, like a little thing, is noticed, and gradually it expands and becomes a cloud. And it continues to change its shape and floats along and gradually keeps changing shape, thins away and vanishes. Where it come from? Where does it go? Like that. But what happens is when the thoughts come and there is some interest formed in them, it's like you've created a relationship in your mind. The thought doesn't, the cloud doesn't have a relationship with you. You have a relationship with the cloud. But somehow it keeps coming back, and each time it comes back, it's as though it comes with increasing power, like that. Because of your interest, you see. So the more I spend, you say, it's a beautiful letter, in fact. It is short, so I read it again. During my last meditation, I had the realization that thoughts are just smoke, or as you say, writings on water. I saw it so clearly that I could sense that there wasn't a thinker behind. So there's a thought, but there's even no thinker is there. If there isn't a thinker, then where do thoughts come from? I can sense, the thinker itself is a thought. I can sense that there are some kind of energy, aren't they? The more time I spend with them, the thicker they become. I could come to the realization that in this way they become actions, and then they can manifest and so become reality. But where do they come from? Why don't you watch when the first you come to know of a thought, if it's a slow rising one. Before it rises, what was it? Don't get lost in that. Stay in you. You are there before because you see it coming and you see it going. You cannot be that thought, because if you were this thought, then when it goes, you would also be gone. But you witness it's gone. You were there before it came. You witness its arising or its appearance. You witness its message or its influence, and you witness its departure also. You are not it. What has it given you? What have you taken from it? Of course, practical, daily practical things, that's not a problem because they don't leave any footprints in the consciousness. Pragmatic, practical thinking. Thinking to do with your identity and who you are. This one, they create more trouble. You can say like that. Thank you, Muji Baba, for having expressed in satsang on the morning of the 23rd how those very mental talks were a little bit unbearable to you. This is truly what I was feeling at the time. Maybe not from the same I than you, or maybe yes. In any case, I have seen my own unbearable mind, and above all its inability to go to a freedom that is already here. Thank you, Muji Baba. It has been like a bug in the traffic of my attention, and it allowed my attention to be redirected to the self, or rather as the self. I'm going to keep quiet. Comfortable. Thank you to you and Mujibaba and all the masters. Helene. Very good. I'll take one more, see maybe what we can do here now. Okay. Thank you so much. I've been following your invitation for a while after attending the Zimar retreat in person in May. I could see that I am formless, limitless being, but it always seemed as though a bit of effort was needed in order to be the self. Something must have happened during my sleep last night. This morning, I wake up feeling as though I am surrounded by God's blanket. This feeling of peace or isness is like a solid rock. I don't need to put any effort. Truthfully, there is no I trying to maintain it. Where is he? Yeah? Okay. I was so surprised at how it just was and kept checking to see if this is still there. And yes, it was there even when my parents got into their little quarrel at the breakfast, which usually irritates me a lot. And when my mom broke a cup. A deep feeling of gratitude springs from my heart, for I know it was only through your grace and of course God's grace that this is possible. There was much resistance and doubt towards you at Zimar, but now I see it was only my ego trying to survive. Now I can sincerely say to you, I love you, my beloved Master. With all my heart, I can say. I pray that this recognition of self will continue to grow with your grace and that my dynamic expression in this life will reflect this understanding. Thank you so much. Happily drunken in your love. Myung, pronounce Myung. From Florida, USA. Very beautiful letter, huh? How wonderful to see that the advice is followed. You know, Sri Nasagadata Maharaj, you know, I remember one statement he made because they were asking, you know. He said, my guru, my master told me, he said, you are not this body, you're not your mind, you are much more than this. You're not any of the senses, you're not any of these things you perceive. And I believed him, I trusted his word, and I accepted and lived with them as though they are already true. You see? And in a relatively short time, I woke up to the truth. The mind is going to come and, yeah, but, yeah, but, you know, if, but, when, you know, okay, and you're acting out your mind, and then next thing what happened is like, yeah, maybe, yeah, it's a bit too mental for me, and yeah. Is there anything more mental than your mind? The mind is saying towards the self, it's a bit mental. Beloved Mujiji, sincere gratitude for your guidance and help. Mujiji, I thank God I have everything. A job, a family who loves me, a tough situation with a family member who has schizophrenia. My parents go to the mind and they get exhausted. It has been many years like this. Me too, I want to help, but I strongly feel that it is my time to make a fist and hit the table and say, no more. I feel selfish if I don't take care of them. It is an internal back and forth, and sometimes the mind attacks with, "You are so selfish if you leave them." It is such a dependency relationship. I am drowning and I feel to live far from the family and to reinvent myself. The garment I have been wearing up to now is too small for me. Thank you from my heart, dear Master, for your light, your protection and blessing. Sometimes I fly, sometimes I'm in jail. Until when, Master? Raquel. Sometimes situations are given to us, we must pass through them. That strong attachments, strong force to kind of overcome some situation that feels like, wow, when am I ever going to be free from this? You said that. And all I can tell you is you find same keys, the same medicine. Keep watching from the self. Keep watching from, find that I amness. I would like that that everyone could follow at least the invitation. No? Follow it and see where it takes you. Not once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. Just keep doing and keep trying to see what is it driving at? What is it pointing to? You see? Is it pointing out? In what direction is the self? To the north? To the south? To the west? To the east? Where is the self? You see? And gradually, just even your attempts are bearing fruit, because it is refining your thinking. It is somehow reorienting the way that you think and feel. It's preparing the way for the darshan of God's grace. So don't worry. The fact it is grace brought you here. It is grace that is taking care of you. You see? Even sometimes you feel, oh, what grace? It's more like this grace. I don't know. No, it's grace is taking care of you. You don't even know. Sometimes things feel really wrong and strong, but still it's from these things you're going to learn the most. If you don't go with the negative mindset, oh, I don't know what to do, I give up, and say, no, don't do that. Just stay put, keep listening, keep following. You've come so far, don't fall, stay. Everything's going to be just fine. You must trust, you know? Don't worry, Raquel. So many situations have come to us where you think, oh my God, a meteorite is heading right to my house. Did it hit? No, you're still here. Something is taking care of you. Don't worry. Next one. Oh, let me see. Okay.
Namaste.
Namaste.
I had really nice 2 days when we didn't have satsangs. Also, others were great, but these 2 days.
Were superb. Go on, tell me.
I was keeping quiet and everything was going well. And now I have a question concerning experiencing. So you say experiencing is going to end when you reach the yourself.
No, I don't remember. Did I say this thing?
But I think you said something like,
A certain way of experiencing, a certain style of experiencing will change. The place that you were looking from and who you were looking as, that will change. And so the taste of the experience and the impact of the experience will change, naturally, yes. But as long as this body is here, and the vital force, the breath, is moving in him, is a kind of fuel for a conscious expression. The conscious is there. There will be thought activity, there will be functioning of perception. You may call it experience.
but if you are the isness,
Yeah.
isness is not experiencing, or?
Well, you can say yes, because it gives rise to the sense I am, which is its most divine vehicle. And through that it will experience. And nothing wrong with experience. I mean, experience is necessarily dualistic, because it is, without experience or without duality you cannot experience. So experience and duality is not a bad thing for me.
But
Yes.
how can you experience without having that you desire for experience it more or again?
Well, it is the person that wants more and again. Nothing is quite again. A cloud that passes will never come again in this way that it has for you.
But who is then experiencing if not the person?
The consciousness is experiencing. The consciousness, with a dynamic consciousness, is the experiencing. When it is not there, when the dynamic consciousness is also, in a sense, rotating, the feeling I am, that kind of witnessing consciousness, that mode of consciousness which witnesses and feels its experiences, is itself it is not the ultimate consciousness. It is the consciousness that experiences going into sleep also, and dreaming, and waking up, and going into deep sleep. It is that consciousness that experiences that. It rotates, you see. When it is in the waking state mode, then he feels that, I am seeing this, I'm seeing this, I'm seeing that. When it's in the dreaming mode, it still feels I'm seeing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But its form in that dream may change also. In the dream, you may experience yourself as a woman or as a king of a country or something, and it will not feel that strange to you. Maybe for a moment, but then you move into the role quite easily. And your relationships as a king and so on will feel very normal, very natural for you, because you're in the mode of that consciousness. And when deep sleep comes, that kind of cognitive, dualistic functioning will not be there. It's suspended, so there is not this kind of like close for business. But at the same time, there cannot be a break in your essential being. It's there, some consciousness is there, because you enjoy sleep, don't you? Even deep sleep, would you say you enjoy or not?
Enjoy, yeah.
Yeah. Some form of consciousness must be there to know that, or, you see? Meaning that you enjoy your cognitive functioning and your non-cognitive functioning. Something is behind that perceives. Something is there to see also that sleep is coming. I can feel sleep coming. I can feel sleep is coming. Something watches that come. Something watches consciousness leaving. I say the consciousness is there. What watches this even, you see? So these are things I prefer not to even talk about so much, because the mind cannot comprehend them. But if you go through the door of personhood into your absoluteness, it might become more clear for you if the interest is still there.
Can you say it again?
Again, like I say, from the ordinary state of consciousness in its expression as a person, it's no use for me to speak about those things because you're not able to comprehend them in that way. And so if we're not able to comprehend them in that way, the mind just fills in the blanks it thinks it knows or something. On the other hand, if you, as you go deeply into your natural state, meaning not just mentally, but experientially, you see, you go through the door. So you're not on the side of the kind of the kind of elemental, or what I may say, the phenomenal identity anymore. You've come back into your source self. Then from that you may know these things, if it wishes to know, if it is destined to have that taste of that kind of knowledge. Otherwise, maybe what you may desire in your personhood mode, in your true mode, that desire will not be there. We cannot say absolutely, see, and this is why I say leave it, don't matter. Whatever it is, it will be just fine for you. You see, there's no big deal in knowing everything. There's no such thing as knowing everything, and you certainly cannot do it by study. But you can have integrated knowledge, which means that as you move back from the illusion of self back into the actuality of yourself, then knowledge as in informational knowledge is not interesting for you. It's nothing at all. It means nothing for you. That kind of knowledgeness is replaced by something else. Replaced by what I would call the fundamental synchronicity with the cosmic vibration. So you seem to know without study, but you are not attracted to knowledge. I mean, knowledge is nothing. The most high thing is to be self-conscious, not in the psychological sense, but in the true sense. You're conscious of yourself. It's the most complete, contented state. Stateless state, even, I would put it. Because I would say states is even that which comes and goes. That which does not come and go.
So what to do then if a person happens to like, let's say, strawberries so much that every time he sees strawberries, he just cannot think anything else than strawberries. And then...
But also, it can be pointed to, it depends if this person presents it as a problem. Maybe if the one comes and says, every time I hear the word strawberries, or if I see strawberries, I just can't think of anything else. So strawberries become their natural meditation. You're at the altar, do you take this woman to be your forever wife, forever and ever, and so strawberries. Sorry, what you say? Nothing. Suppose you were in that state, and it makes you happy. It depends if it makes you happy. If you say, listen, I just totally love, to me, strawberries are divine. Then why would I want to trouble them?
But what about if it's not make you feel fine? If it's...
Okay, this is different. It doesn't make you feel fine, and you're open to change. So then you say, can I talk to you? I hear you can give me an anti-strawberry mantra or something. Or please help me to get out of this strawberry fixation. I don't know, I can't do this. Then can you be helped? Yes, you can be helped. By saying, when this intense fixation comes, you're aware of it, isn't it? The awareness that causes you to perceive strawberries is that addicted to strawberries.
The awareness that...
Because without awareness, you can't see strawberries. You cannot be unaware of, we cannot see strawberries from unawareness. It's true awareness, the capacity to perceive is there. It gives the capacity to perceive. So, because the awareness that causes you to experience the attachment to strawberries is that awareness attached to strawberries. Should I put it another way? You are aware of your attachment to strawberries. Say, for instance, you're aware that, is it you, really for you?
No, just a friend.
Okay. So anyway, whatever. Suppose you are aware that you have a fixation on strawberries and that you don't enjoy, you want to change. Maybe it's time for bananas or something. Or you just don't want to be attached to anything. So then you say, how can I get out of this? I'm just that says, yes, but you are aware that you, say, have an addiction or attachment to strawberries, okay? Is the awareness attached to strawberries?
No.
No, good. So that's already a very important recognition. Then you turn towards the awareness, which is there first before the strawberries. The strawberries appeared in the awareness. The awareness did not become strawberry. It didn't become. So with this, you pay attention just to the awareness. Once you grasp this fact that strawberries is only apparent, it only showed up and then it goes, or it was eaten or whatever. It comes, no? So you pay attention just to the awareness itself, and in that something becomes clear, not just mentally. It switches off this. It switches off this what you may call addiction, or it tones it down. So because if you become aware of awareness itself, then you become awareness itself. You become awareness itself. It doesn't have any addictions.
But could I be able to enjoy strawberries at some day?
Sure. He wants to exchange strawberries for women. You can just insert, okay? Yeah. So it works the same way. I mean, okay. So if you want to, once you get over the addiction to strawberries, I can see where your mind is going. Okay. Once you get over the addiction to strawberries, then it's not a problem anymore. So the occasional strawberries will not cause you any trouble, because everybody is troubled by addiction. But the occasional thing, when it comes, if you're not okay, you got over the strawberry addiction, and then what happened is that a year passed, and then somebody came and offered you one strawberry, and you take it. You feel nothing at all. Oh. How is it? Very nice, thank you. Okay, bye. You go there. And it's over, maybe. Or in the night, you start to see lots of strawberries coming. Shall I tell you a joke? Because I think one is coming there, or something that... It says, there was once one guy, yeah, I think I might have told you before. One guy, he had somehow he just had this dream, and in the dream, he was a mouse. Like, he was just, like, he saw himself as a mouse. When he woke up, the feeling wouldn't go. And then he found himself walking around the house. Okay, so he said, whoa, this is really bad. Like, I don't want to be a mouse, you know. And he looked at himself in the mirror and he goes, oh my God, he sees a mouse. He says, no, I don't want to be a mouse. And so he won't leave his room because he just says, I can't go out. I've got this bad feeling that I'm a mouse, and then, you know, I mean, I can't speak to my girlfriend, and she sees me doing that. She won't want to be with me, and so on. So one of his best friends know that he is suffering this, and he says, look, there's a guy from India, okay, who really knows about this thing. So I'll take you to him, and he will help you. So they go to this doctor, this Indian, you know, whatever, and he says, you know, listen, I have this problem. I really feel I'm a mouse. I really think I'm a mouse. I can't help it. I just think I'm a mouse. Can you help me? So this shaman or whatever said to him, I actually, as a matter of fact, I've just done this course, and I can give you an I am not a mouse mantra. It really is good. Okay? And it goes like that. You just get up in the morning, and before you get out of bed, you just sit and you just, I am not a mouse, I'm not a mouse, I'm not a mouse. But you must believe what you're saying, and then you say this 100 times, and you'll be cured. Okay? So he goes in the morning, gets up, and he sits in the bed, and I'm not a mouse, 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 I'm not a mouse. And after 100 times, you feel, wow, it's gone. It's beautiful, it's gone. Thank you. So then he goes back to the doctor, and he says, I just want to thank you for this mantra. It's amazing, it works. I'm not a mouse anymore. The doctor says, very good, I'm very, very happy. I see it works now, very, very good. Okay, thank you, bye-bye, bye-bye. So as the man was leaving, he stopped for a moment, and the doctor says, is everything okay? So he says, actually, I know I'm not a mouse, but do you think the cats will know I'm not a mouse? Will the cats know that I'm not a mouse? So, is he cured or not? If you say that, yes, I have this addiction, and then somehow you come to recognize that, this addiction is just something to do with habit, and it's a play of the mind, but your true self, your true nature is here, and it's addiction-free in any direction. Not a belief now, you've actually seen that. Then you say, what if, and then you feel, okay, yes, there was this, but I go out into the marketplace, I see lots of strawberries, and I test myself, and I don't feel anything particularly. Yes, I know that they're nice, remember the taste, but I don't have a problem with it. I don't have to hide or something. Okay? But what about if some time passes and then somebody gave me a strawberry? Will I be able to, will I still be free from this? Of course, why not? If something comes up in that moment, can it be greater than the understanding and the seeing that you are the self? No, of course not, it cannot. It cannot.
So
maybe, for instance, if a situation comes and you came under a lot of stress for some situation, or maybe a friend has a bad accident or something and you feel traumatized by that, you feel like you're very identified with this, and then maybe somebody comes with a lot of strawberries and you might just think, I can just take some of those. It could be cigarettes or it could be any other thing. It is in that moment you to feel like, yes, I just need to have one of those now. And so you may experience that. But as soon as, again, you come back to your normal state, you will not feel that addiction.
yeah, if you are in the awareness all the time.
You who are in the awareness all the time is the awareness itself. If there's a you being in the awareness, it's going to be an effort. And you will not be able to sustain that effort unbrokenly. It is very different thing to be, can I be in the awareness, Someone once asked, I was asking to myself, are you always intuitive? How do you keep just being intuitive? How do you stay always as a self and say, I don't do anything at all. I'm not doing anything at all. And I'm sure if there was an I who had to be staying there, it would be largely a failure. After a while, it becomes so tiring, I'll just give it up. To be the thing which I'm most effortless at. So awareness must become the thing you're most effortless at. If you're effort there, then you're going to sometimes just feel, I'm not in the mood today really for this. Because you're still regarding it as something other than yourself. You're trying to be something. What is the thing that you don't have to try to be? You may think that is your person, because somehow that has been a development and something has just become habituated to thinking like that. But as soon as the light of consciousness brightens in you, you begin to feel the heaviness of your identity as a person. This is why I say it is the natural state. Because in recognizing it, experiencing it, you see, all your efforts, all the sluggishness, all the agitation, the frustrations, the doubts, the suicidal thoughts, all of them drop away. Because they exist only for an apparition. They exist only for the imagined self, not the real self.
I'm still bothered by the experiencing. Did Babaji say something about that when you are the self, you are not experiencing anymore?
What it could only mean, if you've read those words, it means that you're not experiencing strongly the sense of otherness. It makes a big difference. And the only way you cannot experience otherness is if you are confirmed in the isness, that the isness is the soul, it is the source of all manifestations. So all manifestations are appearing in and out of the isness itself. So you cannot see them independent of the isness. Then what you're perceiving is the isness, appearing as form. It cannot trouble you deeply. It will trouble you when you're in the state of personhood, and to that extent it is grace, because it then reveals that you're still holding on strongly to the sense of personhood. And then it may feel, oh my God, this is impossible because I'm always a person. Like all my waking hours, most of my waking hours, I'm really concentrating or obsessed with my personhood. Everything is like this, is that my mind is always thinking what I'm going to do, who's going to come later. It's always sort of like, I am like my own secretary. I'm constantly thinking about what I'm going to do with my next appointment, like this. And apart from that, I have no existence beyond that. That is a big delusion. Because even though the attention is fixated upon the person, the sense of the person, you see, that still cannot exist independent of the self. It's from the self it is arising. You see? But once this is recognized, that the self is the womb, the birthplace, the source of all that is manifest, everything that you can perceive through the senses, or the mind, or through imagination, is arising out of the consciousness, the dynamic consciousness, and it itself is an appearance arising out of the Absolute.
Is it right when I have this feeling of a really impersonal feeling in my body and also everywhere around me?
Yes. Yes.
So kind of both in the same time.
Both meaning the impersonal feeling inside and outside.
Yes.
Yes. It is a natural experience.
Because for me it feels somehow, when I came here I was really exhausted and a bit repressed and everything, and it somehow feels so weird, not what I'm used to. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm asking.
Gradually, as the grip of egoic identity loosens like this, your experience becomes more universal, impersonal. If you come to the point where your consciousness is tired or saturated with personalized functioning, this is already for me an auspicious sign. It means that you don't enjoy the state of ego or personhood. Then the consciousness is somehow tired of it. So then it's going to be short-lived. It's not going to have much. It's not going to have much of a future. So it is already seeping back into the consciousness to perceive from a much higher state, a more unified state of being, rather than a fragmented state, where the mind itemizes each thing as though it has a separate existence. And then it becomes just claustrophobic for your thinking. And so in this unitive functioning of the universal consciousness, then you're seeing in a kind of unicity. You're seeing is happening as a unicity. And so everything you see becomes part of that unicity. And it's not a figuring out. It has a very effortless feeling about it. It's not that you're making deductions about what's happening outside. It's all very much here. It feels internal, you may say, like that. And effortless.
Yeah.
Just the way that the perceiving is functioning in this form.
Yeah, I've experienced it here, and quite profoundly, and I feel that I can have it with me also, but I'm a little bit afraid of going back to the city, like living in my own little box in the center of the city alone and like just trying or like...
But don't you see that every single thing now is observable? Every single thing is observable. And by that I mean that in observing them, you automatically know that they're fleeting and that they're phenomenal. Is it not clear for you? Yes. Even some thoughts which would normally, capture your attention so strongly that you are in fact in a state of some kind of hypnosis with them. You begin to see distance is opening up in them. You begin to see them as just phenomenal. And also your ability to identify with them is reduced. Your reactionary kind of relationship with them, that you're not actually doing anything, it's just that it seems to be being undone somehow. Your place is that you keep liking this feeling, you keep honoring it, digesting, acknowledging, being grateful for it. It's all the food it needs. It just keeps unfolding.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, maybe we take this one more and then one. Can I see you for a moment? Yes.
Hi, Muji.
Hi.
I wanted some more clarity or confirmation, maybe. This inquiry started happening spontaneously when you've said before that you asked that man what is looking out from behind those eyes.
Yes.
And he said conditioning.
Yes.
And I thought I understood what that meant.
You thought what?
I thought I had understood what that meant.
Yes, yes.
But I started contemplating this. And it became clear that the perceiving is seen, and the sensations in the body that I assume to be me, along with perceiving, mostly seeing with the eyes,
And also the content of the seeing.
and the content of the seeing,
Yes.
and the mind that says I,
And the reaction to the seeing.
and the reaction to the seeing,
Yes.
and
Felt in the body.
attention
Yes.
are seen.
Are seen. Just
And-
stop for 1 second with that. They are seen. Okay? So the act of perceiving, the functioning of perception, the act of perceiving, the object of perceiving, the content of the perceiving, the reaction to the perceiving, the tangibility of the reaction in the body are all seen. Good? From here.
But the perceiving was always assumed to be, or the perceiving itself is not sentient.
And by sentient, you mean?
The eyeballs are seeing.
Yes. Well,
But that's-
the eyeballs allows the mind to see. The life force allows the consciousness to keep functioning. The eyes are only the instrument. They are not the interpreter of what is seen physically. They interpret the seeing based upon whatever identity it's working for. So it interprets the scene. The eyeballs don't see. A dead man might have his eyes open, but he's not seeing anything. The mind is not there. Is it?
But something saw that there was just this very strong belief that this is, all these things put together is what I am.
Yes, and that is seen also.
That is seen. So when all of this is observed,
From where is this seen emerging from? It captures everything, no? It has already said, without it, none of these will be seen. You see, take them away one by one, and it remains the one thing that cannot be taken away. Okay, so it is there before they appear. Because it is there, it perceives them all one by one coming in. And it perceives one by one, boom, is what perceiving. Because it is there. If it is not there, nothing is perceived. So what knows, where does this perceiving, which is without quality, have you come to this place yet? The one that doesn't have a story. It doesn't have any history. It doesn't have any preferences or likes or dislikes. Have you come to this place?
it feels like just an awareness
Yes.
that knows that it exists,
Yes.
but it's nothing. It's like, I can't, it's not anywhere. And it's,
Yeah.
is this true?
Yes.
Thank you.
And you are what?
The awareness.
Is that a question?
That's how it feels, although it feels odd, because
Who says it feels odd?
the mind.
If you change the word it feels odd and says it feels just incredible, the thing is still the same. If you say it feels odd, that is a judgment you give it. You put a tag on it, and so sometimes I says, yeah, that's kind of there. It's got no particular thing about it. It feels odd. To whom does it feel odd?
Nobody. Thank you.
Very good.
I want to say, I want to thank you because when you gave us the exercise, I can relate to that man who was very engaged in the sense of doership.
Yes.
Something on the first contemplation day saw that the mind is irrelevant.
Yeah.
And there was so much joy in seeing that.
No.
And so something just wanted to keep just seeing the thoughts appear and disappear. And then you gave us the sheet, the love letter. And the mind was very angry.
Yeah.
It was.
Why is mind angry? Why is mind angry?
It was saying this, you know, he says, don't make it mental, and look at this, it's so many words, and why is he confusing me, and I just want to not think or inquire, and it was very angry. There was a lot of anger.
But you recognized it as mind.
Yes.
You see the difference? You recognized it to be mind. Whereas perhaps in another case, it might take that to be true. Yeah, why he bother? He tell us there's nothing. Well, give us this pile of paper with all these words on both sides. You know? I mean, come on. Stay with your words. Or not. You see? If that could also be another possibility. And somebody go, you know, yeah, I don't really get it. I mean, like first you say, don't touch anything. Then give me this big sheet of paper to read. Piece of paper and stuff like that. It could go this way. But you were not fooled. You see the mind coming and says, yeah, okay, you know, something's angry. Why are you angry? Why angry? Did I tell you, take this piece of paper and wear it on your forehead? No. I said, read it when it's time. When your mind is itching to do something. Read this thing. And so you got a chance to watch that there's something that doesn't want to participate in the activity. It will not cooperate with any activity that threatens its existence.
The anger was seen, but your voice came up and it said, if Muji calls a spontaneous meeting specifically to tell you to do something, you do it. And so, thank you. Thank you, Muji.
I am so happy to have this feedback because this is how simple it can be. Of course, we have for so long identified with this limited state of identity, the sense of the person and its world and so on. And this time here is seeming to threaten or to challenge this identity and its world, so to speak. So why would you be up for any of that? You see? So something has come and then it starts to look and follow. And as you follow deeply inside, experience each thing that you have heard, you have found yourself in a greater space and greater space. And less things to get entangled in. More and more you go. You've not just read it mentally, which left you as, yes, I understand it here. Sometimes people say, I understand it intellectually, which means that it's not been swallowed. But your words, when you speak and we confirm together, they come from the truth. Their vibration is truthful also. Not just the words as words, but the energy inside them, you know, makes the words pure. It's not the words that make you pure, but your purity turns your words into spirit. So, can you from now, you know, move in life and be in the life, but still be inseparable and the same inside? Can life impose any conditions upon the what is? No. This is freedom. That we cannot come together like this and you all leave with some mental idea and bits of paper with notes on them that you have not swallowed. No, but that you've come and you've listened and you can see the truth that the words are indicating. And your spirit, your heart can verify through your own experience and by the authority of your own seeing, this is so. And as I said, the mind is going to come back. He's going to try. He's going to come. He's going to say, hey, this is my house. I take the rent. How dare you take my key? What are you going to do? Shake in your socks? What are you going to do? Change the lock. No, you take off the door. Take off the windows. Take down the walls. So you can come and go as you like. You can do nothing here. In fact, it won't even have the audacity to speak to that principle. It can only speak to you when you have descended somehow experientially into the shape of a person. It will not be able to intimidate. Whatever it can intimidate is only its jurisdiction, its arena is only where the person is. Are you standing outside the gate of Nirvana? Can I catch you like that? Because if I were to say to you even something like this, where are you, inside or outside the gates of Nirvana? Then suddenly you start to think, oh my God, oh. Ooh. Could this retreat be enough for you? Time will tell. I'm pleased to speak with someone like you. You've looked, and it's only you can confirm now. And stay with it. Don't say, oh, it's done, I sort of fool. On that retreat in I whipped him. No. You don't say anything. You simply don't say anything to anybody. You stay like you are. When somebody say, would you like one sugar or two? Oh, I take one. Drink your tea. That's all. Very great, very great, very great. I'm going to stop here now for today. I think we have heard enough to now, whatever is left of the day or the evening and so, to use a portion of it just to assimilate and to marinate in your seeing. To be the being and not just follow thoughts. They came from nothing. You thought, where are they going? To nothing. Okay. If they bring you to the nothingness of the mind, it's not good. The mind says, it's nothing. But if it takes you to the nothingness of yourself, then it is fine. Which thought can do that? So I want to thank you for your attention and openness, because that is the only way in which we can meet. We only need to meet. We don't even have to share. Just meet in this neutral field. But not a blank, not a black hole. It's not a black hole. It is pregnant with life and aliveness. And I want to introduce you to someone who I want to introduce you to Parvatima, who's come here from India, and who Ma Devaki has also asked her, please come and see Mooji. So she's here, and for also some concert in Sinish, and but she's come to see us today, and I'm very happy that you come. And I want you to come and sing something today for me.
It's very dry here, so they are from India, so I need some water.
Sri Sri Guru
পদ ভরসা মাত্র সার কুলকুণ্ডলিনী ব্রহ্মময়ী মা তারা আছো গো অন্তরে মা আছো গো অন্তরে এক স্থান